my thing is, a couple years ago in 2020, I went and I visited New Orleans, and I had a person pick me up in a cab or in an Uber, and his name was Abai from Cameroon, and I was teaching imperialism to my students. I teach world history, and I was like, okay, so from Cameroon, that means like, how did imperialism, affect your country, and like what was it about?
In a quarter mile, make a left turn on West North Avenue using the upcoming left lane.
So, and it was amazing because I didn't think about this, but I mean, he's like, when Germany owned Cameroon, they built the infrastructure so solid, and all this other stuff, and he praised what the Germans kind of did for the Cameroon people and the place. But then after the World War,
make a left turn on West North Avenue.
France got it and changed it and kind of just extrapolated materials and built up shoddy materials and more or less took from the place, not try to make it something.
I understand.
So that conversation got me thinking, holy cow, if I record these and like maybe do a podcast, and I would call it just conversations with Uber drivers, and my main thing is like, okay, so Sohail, like where are you from? Like what is your background? And then I where are you from? So this is the idea. So I mean, in a sense, so I would like to interview you, and we just have a conversation. And if I do make the podcast, I'm gonna put it on a podcast, and it's gonna be called Tales from Uber, or Stories with Uber Drivers. But it's from a teacher curious interest. So are you interested in being probably my second one ever? I'm gonna meet Abai later. I'm gonna recontact him. But that's my idea.
I see. Yeah, you go ahead.
Where are you from?
I'm from Pakistan.
Pakistan. All right. So I know quite a few people from Pakistan. And I wonder about the conflict with Pakistan and Hindus, and especially like Kashmir. And like from a perspective, what I like is it's from a perspective of somebody from the area, not from what I read in a textbook. So to me, it's a little bit more real,
Conflict is between Hindu and Muslims.
Yes, that's the first thing that came to my mind when I ran into it. Because I'm teaching about Indian independence movements, and then with Bangladesh and Pakistan splitting from, because they were all unified at one point, right?
Right.
So, but why is there still animosity towards each other?
Between Pakistan and India?
I keep on reading Kashmir. It's like there's always like bad stuff happening around Kashmir.
When the division happened, when they split Pakistan and India, they left that chapter open of Kashmir. Kashmir was left open. No decision was made on Kashmir that who will get what. So half of the Kashmir came in Pakistan side and half of the Kashmir stayed in India side. Kashmir is 99.9% Muslims, and Hindus do not like Muslims. So the conflict still stayed, continued, and now the Hindus are trying to either kill all the Muslims and take over Kashmir, or run away all the Muslims and take over Kashmir. That's all it is.
I don't know, as you're explaining that to me, it reminds me of Israel-Palestine in some ways.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what is going on.
Thank you. That kind of helps me understand Kashmir a little bit. Are you you practice Islam?
I practice Islam.
Are you devout? Do you pray 5 times a day?
I pray 5 times a day.
Ramadan? Do you fast?
Yes, I fast the whole month of Ramadan. It was just gone.
And like, when you fast, I mean, how long have you been fasting? All your life? Like, do you remember?
All my life. From the day I was born, after 14 years, it's mandatory.
What is, in your mind, why do you do it then? Like, what is it to you? Like, what have you learned from it?
It is a part of our religion, and God has instructed all Muslims to pray 5 times a day and fast in the month of Ramadan. The fasting brings cleanliness to your body. Your interior get cleaned, and you You stay away from heart attack, you stay away from high blood pressure, you stay from many things. Because you eat 12 months. God is only asking stay fast once a month. I mean 1 month out of a year.
Yeah.
And that cleans up your body completely.
And you feel.
I feel that, yes.
And also
feel
no
that.
alcohol too, right?
No alcohol, nothing.
I want to ask, like, have you ever drank alcohol? You know.
Never in my life. No tobacco, no alcohol.
Clean. What brought you to America?
Pardon me? Oh, what brought me?
Yeah.
I was 16 years old when I came in this country. Now I'm 65. I came for studies and I did my CPA, which is a Bachelor of Accounting. I became a certified public accountant. I worked almost 40 years for a company, and then I took a early retirement, and I started my construction business, and I started building homes. I built a couple of homes in Elbas. There's 2 more homes that I'm going to break ground this year in July. And that's about it.
So you have like a team.
I'm driving right now part-time Uber because these truck payments are about $1,200 a month.
Wow.
So I don't want to lose my truck. That's why I'm driving Uber. And yes, I do hire subcontractors. We don't have any house employees. It's only me and a superintendent, Rob Brassel, who works for me.
Why did you leave Pakistan?
I was 16 years old and I always want to come to America because there is a dream that I've seen my uncle's kids were doing very well. So I came.
By yourself?
By myself, that is correct.
Was there somebody here to receive? And that's amazing.
My uncle was here who received me. And then in 1 month I was on my own.
Wow. So how did you navigate schooling and stuff like that?
My first job was working in a laundromat and then Jack in the Box. If you remember Jack in the Box,
yes.
In early years, I was employee there first. Then I became assistant manager. Then once I received my green card, I went and applied for a loan. I got a loan, and that's how I went to school. And I was working nights and working in school, doing school in the morning.
So when you were 16, 17, 18, you weren't technically going to a school?
Technically going to school, right. I did my high school here, and I did my BS here, undergrad.
CPA?
Yes.
Yeah. What was your father like?
My father was a businessman, always. He was in a oriental rug business. He was manufacturing rug, and that's how I came in business.
So was that a family oriental? Like, I mean, in my mind, I went right to the Silk Road almost. Like,
Yeah,
you know.
oriental rugs means those Persian rugs.
Yes, yes.
That you put it on hard floor. He was manufacturer of the Persian rugs.
All right.
He was importing those rugs to England, to Europe.
And
He was not getting wealthy out of it, but he was living very well.
did he ever give you any advice? Or, you know?
Yeah, he did give me advice. That's how I became a businessman. I was involved with him in my childhood, and I learned that business is the only way that you can grow. And that's how I started.
Do you have any children?
I have 3 kids. My oldest daughter became an attorney. My middle years in cybersecurity,
Wow.
and my youngest still in medical school.
Wow. When you came here, like 16, you had, I guess, a vision of America. What are your thoughts on America now?
What am I saying there?
What are your thoughts on America like now? I mean, I hear your kids are doing pretty well.
I loved it. I mean, every moment I spent here, I loved it. And that's why I got married here. I got 3 kids.
In a quarter
My
mile,
wife was
proceed
also
straight
born
on
here.
Route 83 using the upcoming
She's
right
also
lane.
from Pakistan, but born Pakistani American.
Are your kids practice Islam as well?
Yes.
Using the right lane,
All of
proceed
them
straight on Route 83.
Do you have, I guess, do you read the Quran often?
Yes, we do.
Do you have a favorite verse or anything? Do you have a sutra, right? Like
The Surah
Muhammad.
Baqarah,
Yeah.
the second surah in the Quran
In
is
1
very
mile,
important
proceed
for
straight on
Muslims.
Bussy Road.
Surah Baqarah. Baqrah.
And how does it? What it?
It tells you about many things, that how Muslim should behave, how Muslim, if you read it, you will understand.
Okay. And it's the second sutra of
Second
Islam.
surah, right. Second chapter.
Alright, I'll check that when I get home. Or it's neat with these phones. You can even look it up right now. But I don't know. I don't want to mess with the recording. You know. Do you watch the news?
Yes, I do. Every day.
Do you think the news is a positive thing in terms of how people perceive America? I'm curious, and I just and maybe I'm leading you. I don't mean to lead the
In
question.
a quarter mile, proceed straight
I
on
am
Bussy
leading
Road
questions,
using
but,
the upcoming second lane.
I cannot comment on that.
That's fun. And I think I got nervous when I asked it. You know, like I like to hear stories where people are happy with America. And it seems like there's so much mean, and so that's my side.
Using the second
I'm very
lane from
happy
the
with
right,
America.
proceed straight
Cool.
on Bussy Road.
And I'm
I
happy
think
you're happy.
this is the only safest country in the world where
My,
there's not any dirty politics.
I mean, I bet there are dirty politics, but it must not be that bad. Like,
Right.
I can see what you mean. Like, my wife's from Trinidad and Tobago, and her uncle once said that the reason why he came to America was like that America has justice.
I think that he's right about that.
I like that.
There's law in place, law and order in place. You gotta follow the rules. You gotta live according to the rules.
And they can't be changed.
It cannot be changed.
Well, I mean,
like
through
that.
law it can be changed.
I like that.
Yeah. But then it has to be right. Like
Exactly.
it takes a while to change those laws.
Wrong is wrong, right is right here.
Mm-hmm. What's the most challenging part of life in your view?
Now make a right turn on Devon Avenue using the
Challenging
upcoming
part of my life is there are different times, different things that happens in your life. Just got to stay focused. If you don't stay focused, you get out of the. I don't know how to
Using the
express
right lane,
that.
make a right turn on Devon Avenue.
It's just all I have to say is you have to stay focused all the time. What you're doing.
So always kind of have goals, maybe, or
Exactly. Yeah, put up your goals together and work along with it.
You ever have like a moment? It was just like the happiest moment of your life, or a few. Like.
The happiest moment of my life is when 2 of my kids graduated. That's when I figured out that I accomplished my goal to give them the proper education that they can be on their own foot.
That's an awesome goal for a father.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
wish you would have been able to do over again? Like if you can go back and kind of alter the path a little bit, change the choice.
In a half mile, make
I didn't understand your point.
In a half mile, make
That's a good.
left turn
I like
on
that.
Elmhurst Road.
There's wisdom right there. Yeah, thank you. Do you think Islam helped you stay focused?
Pardon me, sir?
Islam. Do you think Islam helped you stay focused when you say?
Yes.
Yeah. What are you thinking? What are your thoughts on other religions? Like,
Well, every religion
In a quarter
came
mile,
from
make
God
left
up
turn
there.
on Elmhurst Road using the upcoming left
It's
two
the
lanes.
people who have to understand what is right, what is wrong.
are any of the? I mean, is there a? I agree. You know, I kind of wonder, like,
Right. It's a person who has to decide where he wants to
Using
step
the
and
left two
where he
lanes,
wants
make a
to
left
stay.
turn on Elmhurst Road.
I know there's no description of Muhammad, like, to kind of be done. You know what I mean? But like, is there anything where you can say like what Allah
Yes.
and like how is
We
Allah?
call our God Allah.
Allah, yes, Allah. Sorry, the accent. Yeah. But I mean, like, how does in Hinduism is like Brahman, you know, in Judaism it's Yahweh, or in Christianity Christ, and you know God, kind of like this God with a beard. What is
All I can say is Muhammad is the last messenger in this world, was sent with a message that this is the only religion that will stay till the day of judgment. The rest of the religion will be all vanished. So now it's up to human who has to understand that what will stay and what will be not there. Even in our kalma, it says La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. That means Allah is only one and Prophet Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. And that message was passed repeatedly again and again. Now it's up to the humans how you take it, how you understand.
and as I teach Islam, I always say that, like, basically everybody is equal, you know, under Allah, you know.
Exactly.
Like, and so if you were looking at this as an economic standpoint, could you kind of consider that socialism or communism? From a
In a quarter mile,
I
make a
have not
slight left
read
turn on
socialism or
East County
communism
Okay.
myself, so I cannot comment on that.
and like communism was anti-religion, you know, altogether. But I mean,
Right.
I guess I can't say communism is an
Right,
economic.
like China has communists.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. They have no
Make a slight
religion.
right turn on East
And they
County Road.
persecute the Uyghurs.
Right.
What are your thoughts on that? How come it's not on the news?
Well, about Chinese, I would say that they're very intelligent people, very smart people, and I don't know what their motive is. I don't understand that. What do they want out of other humans? Don't know that.
Do you feel, because I mean, Uyghurs are Muslims. I mean, does that bother you as a Muslim, or is it
No, it doesn't
too far?
bother me.
Even though, like, genocide and sterilization of those people? Or I mean, are you aware of that? You know?
No, I'm not aware of that.
Yeah. So I do jiu-jitsu, you know. So I roll with a guy, and he's Uyghur, and they've been saying like this genocide in a sense. He's saying the genocide, and you look it up online and you type in Uyghur genocide, it's there.
No, I'm not aware of that.
It bothers me. It bothers me that we're, you know, like we hear court cases about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. And at the Olympics, they say don't yell about China, but you know that's what's going on right now. I think most of this, though, I try to draw out questions just to have you speak, but I guess I'll end up talking sometimes. When I listen to podcasts, there's certain people that it's better to have the other person speak the most, but every once in a while I feel like I gotta interject a little bit, you know?
Right.
I bought an instrument, like a professional instrument, to actually do this, and in my haste, I that was the one thing I forgot. So, but I think I'm gonna start because this is the second one. I appreciate you.
Thank you, sir.
And can you say your name again? Just to make sure.
Sohail Shakir.
Thank you, Sohail. It's an honor. So, maybe I'll be able to find you somehow, but I will.
You have my number on that.
Oh yeah. I'll find you. It seems like it's like when I read through it, like trying to get a hold of a buy. It's like they go, if I don't really have your number, but it gives me, if you want to contact Sohail, it's like $15 or something like that. So, but I am going to create a podcast, and it's going to be something like stories from an Uber drivers, or something to that extent.
Sure.
And I'm sure the quality of this interview will be very poor, you know, but it'll be an endearing early one, you know.
Sure.
It's almost like an original volume. But this does have good quality, but I got to transfer it over. But it could have been much better, so I apologize about that.
That's all right.
But in some ways, it's raw, which I like. Oh, so jiu-jitsu. I won. I lost I came in third place in my division. I was pretty mad, so I fought absolutes. And like absolutes is no weight class. It's like, you know, and in the finals, I got to the finals and I tapped out the ultra heavyweight. So I got gold. Guess I gotta shove that into my podcast.
Sure. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I enjoyed the conversation.
Thank you, sir.
And it's enlightening. My sister converted to Islam years ago.
Beautiful.
Yeah. She wore a hijab for a while, and then she also moved to Saudi Arabia for a while.
I see.
She still practices.
Did she marry a Saudi guy?
She married somebody from Palestine,
Oh, good.
but they're no longer together.
Oh, they're not? She still wear hijab?
No. I don't know why. When she lived in Saudi for 7 years, I think the disappointment was, despite her fervor to be a practicing Muslim, she wasn't very well accepted by the natives, in a sense, in Saudi.
I see.
That made it very challenging,
I see.
even by the family, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it kind of broke her heart, I think, you know? Or at least her desire to be 100% like that with that family, anyhow.
I see.
She's cool, though. I'll show you my medals when we stop. I think maybe when we stop, with your permission, I'd like to take a picture of you at least. That way there's a visual of,
Sure.
you know, you can just stay right where you are. Just kind of, actually, can I take one now? You don't have to look at me yet. You know what I mean? And we'll take another one too. Like, and we'll see what's up. But I like this view really, because this is me, you know, interviewing. Huh? Cool. And maybe when we stop, I'll take another. Listen to me jingle my medals. I was pretty disappointed. I got bronze. I wanted to fight the Pan Am champion, but he didn't show. And I kind of, I don't know. Wouldn't have mattered because I lost before, but he didn't show, you know. So it wasn't as exciting.
Make a right turn.